Welcome to Connect with Keeney. I'm your host, Matt Keeney. We are live at Connect Café. I got my main man, Cory G from Granville, Ohio.
What up?
Cory, welcome to today's show.
Yeah, man. Glad to be here. Fought the snow, ready to be here. 2-hour drive. The Land Cruiser's undefeated, Matt. I hit you early. I said, as long as it keeps moving, I'm here.
Yeah, man. First thing I thought, I showed up at the gym this morning. There was one other car in the parking lot. Shout out Dr. Bentley, uber successful, hard worker, 120 hours a week. He looked at me. He said, success is earned, not given. We're experimenting with a live online Facebook. So we had little hoops and hurdles here.
Big deal.
It's either day one or one day, but we're trying to add more value to the consumer. So this should be airing live right now on social media. Therefore, Cory can go back, share it, anybody else. So
let's do it.
That's the hoops and hurdles that we're going through right now. But yeah, so I was thinking, Cory, you drove 2 hours. Alarm clock went off at 3:30 this morning. A little bit of snow on the grounds, cancellations, schools canceled, construction's canceled. It'd be a real easy day for you and I both to say, you know what? I'm just going to hang out on the couch with the fam today. What was your thoughts when you woke up?
This was the easiest day to do that, and I thought that was the opportunity to continue the momentum, to get a chance at it. And so, I really enjoyed the event last time we were down here, the people we got to meet, the value that we offered. I look forward to it each month, and I was like, this is the easiest. Like, if I would have said, Matt, it's too much, you would have been like, oh, it's cool, G. Like, I know I could have, but at the end of the day, I wanted a chance to continue the momentum where most people will stop. And I just know that that's not what I'm about. So first thing, alarm went off at 3:15.
Okay.
And as soon as the doors opening up, I'm like, yo, this is what people would be like, oh, there's too much snow, there's this or that. And so yeah, I pride myself on those are the days where they're the separators, 100%, just like right now.
Yeah, for sure. 2014, so that's 11 years ago. 2014, started following this guy, bricked up abs, chasing covers of magazines. 11 years later, the first time I've seen a little facial hair and little scruffle there on the chin.
Some wisdom right here too. My beard's been gray since I was like 30.
Okay.
But I just haven't grown it out, trying to delay the aging look a little bit. But no, it's been good to have a little change. The amount of people that have commented on it is hilarious.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
Yeah. So it's a nice little switch up. I'm going with that Rocky IV look right now. You know what I mean? Burlied up, gain a little bit of muscle. Cut season's coming around the corner. But no, it's been a nice little change up.
Yeah. Speaking of, Cory, let's go ahead and get a cheers. Connect Cafe. You've been with me since the infancy stages of building this business for the past 60, 90 days. I know nothing about coffee. We've been studying. We've been learning each day. More transactions have been taking place.
Cool.
So I'm going to go ahead and cheers myself because this has been what's easy to do is also easy not to do. That's a quote that I stand by. Shout out Compound Effect, Darren Hardy. And today I'm drinking coffee inside my cafe. So I'm gonna
there you go. On your podcast.
Yeah, on my podcast that I never thought would be a dream or never thought would be possible. Hey, I want to thank a few guests in here. Marshall, thank you for coming back. Been with me since day one, shaking hands at the meal prep, walking blocks, introducing, so thank you. Scott and Andrew was here last week. So thank you once again. Andrew hit me up the day of the last podcast, said, man, I learned some nuggets. Andrew, you're what, like 20, 24?
Perfect.
I'm going to commend you 2 months in a row. I promise you're in the right room. Birds of a feather flock together.
Facts.
See somebody that's doing it and be right beside their side until they kick you away. But there's just add value to Scott. Keep asking questions. And then this man right here, Doug, I've seen you operate. Met you at Sornex last year. Father, man of faith. I see you coaching. So I've been wanting to brush elbows with you and appreciate you coming through the door. But it's going to lead us into last week. We all had an opportunity in here. We're 4 weeks later. I always say, let's talk a little bit about reflection. Cory gave you the blueprint. I talked to some success tools. We're here 4 weeks later. Cory, you've experienced some of the biggest challenges that you faced in supplementation.
Yep.
You've made some changes within your organization. Would you kind of share maybe as much as you want what's happened in the past 4 weeks within your businesses and life?
Sure. I think that my space is the probably most saturated it's ever been. The barrier to entry is the easiest that it's ever been. I think the noise online with social media algorithms, I think the drug use in the space is crazy, so people can jump to results even faster. I think that it's more challenging now than it's ever been. And so, I had to make some pretty hard calls. I chose to get a little grittier, get a little leaner, which, by the way, I'm not scared of that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I had to make some hard decisions with cut 4 full-time salaries, had to make some changes, back to doing some stuff I haven't done in a while. But once again, it's just kind of part of the game. I signed up for entrepreneurship in 1999. I've been in multiple cycles of things that are difficult. This is what's wild about it. Sometimes you feel like you're trying super hard and it's going nowhere. And then other times you feel like you're barely ever trying and you can't do no wrong. There's just cycles of it, and you just know none of them are long lasting. So I'm back in another one where it's like I'm in the weeds preparing for what's next, and got like everybody's on the same page. And so yeah, to me it's just like kind of just what it is. So yeah, I think that I took a little longer to make those decisions because the people I was working with I care about, and I felt like to some degree I kind of let them down, but I think it was more of just the situation. So I just I try to look inward and say, how can I lead better? By example, great example, up at 3:15, train at 4, packing orders at 5. Me, hey, thank you for your order, packing Black Friday orders, back in the car by 6, back at home on the way down here by 7. Like, that's what today was, and now we're here. So it's like, that's just what was required today. And then there's still more, you know what I mean? But that's just what it is. So I think that sometimes you got to have a hard look of just, what's the reality of the situation. That's all.
Yeah, I'm going to give a little bit of context as I've had the opportunity to kind of be with Cory for 3 years on a personal level. I get to see behind the scenes of what, in context, we're talking about the supplement company. I've built some friendships within. So my point is, I'm talking to the business driven person right now that you have to understand numbers. Numbers are key. We can have a staff of 5, we can have a staff of 10, we can have a staff of 2. A lot of people want to talk about, hey, I did X amount of sales, gross sales. I did 2 million in sales, 5 million in sales, 10 million in sales. Well, if I do 10 million in sales and I have $999,000 going out, I just made $1,000 off $10 million of work. Cory took some time and dove into his business, and then also, built some solid friendships. Those guys have been with me forever. I love the guys. He loved the guys. And just talk about that process to an old wisdom 10-year business owner, a new business owner of, your experience through that. And
yeah, I just think like being super transparent, especially with my team is a smaller anyway. And I think like no one was really that surprised because I had been so transparent on what our execution needed to be like. And when it didn't reach that, I think when I came to terms with it, I don't think anybody was like, oh my gosh, I didn't see this coming. It's like, here's what we got to do. Here's what time it is, essentially. Here's what's required. It didn't reach that. Time for some people to do some different things. Like, didn't make it any easier. One of the guys I train with every day. Yeah. Now, luckily, he got a chance to go to another friend of ours that has a big business. But the reality is, like, I did lose sleep over for a couple nights. It all comes down to what kind of person you want to be. You know what I mean? And so like, I believe when I go up against those results or just that like situation and say, did I really give everything of myself to try to not make this the outcome? And if that's the truth and I can lay down at night, then I don't have a problem going to say, yo, this is just the reality of business because the numbers just weren't where they were supposed to be. Now, will they be eventually? Of course, I'm optimistic. I believe in my calls. I believe in my work ethic and what I can do. But sometimes just, I think I kicked the can down the road probably about a year longer than I should have. And I just had to come to reality. That's all.
And some further context, what I've seen, watching and study from this guy still every day, is as we made those changes to the business, he knew that it was going to add, I don't want to say more stress to your life. It was going to fill your plate. So not only now is Cory waking up at 3:15, 3:30, getting his fitness in, what was delegated to staff this morning he had packed 50, 100 orders himself, which is sometimes we're too good for that. And I would have to even maybe check myself. Do I want to go back to being the dishwasher? Do I want to go back to being the delivery van? I don't want to, but by golly Neds.
But you're willing to do it, though.
I would.
That's the key.
Yeah, I'm willing to do. So
I think the other thing is too, like, sometimes when you get like that in your business, you got a pulse on it. Like I like seeing exactly what people are ordering.
Yeah.
I can see it on a spreadsheet all day, but when I'm taking the plant protein, the greens, the pre-workout and going, and then I'm seeing what gear that they're adding and those things, like, and I can see the names, I recognize a lot of these people have been buying off me for over a decade.
Yeah.
So I have a different level of appreciation. So to me, it doesn't, I don't even feel like I think some people might think they feel like less of a business person because I know there's some construction because you're pounding a nail now. That's not true. It's just in this moment, like, that helps my team because I set them up now when they come in at 8:30, whatever, 8 o'clock, like they can just put them into packages. But I got a chance to do content, also see, like, get my pulse on what's going on. To me, that doesn't make me feel like I'm not successful today.
Yeah.
Actually makes me feel better.
Heck yeah. Anytime you do work, you don't feel.
I just have a different perspective on that because I don't think like I'm too good for it.
Sure.
You know, I mean, I would rather not do it, but it's just what it is.
Yeah, you did at the beginning. You'll go back to doing it. So 30 days later since the last live podcast, and sometimes we talk about failures. We're going to fall on our face all the time. Interviewed Ben Hatmaker the other day. We just fell. The difference between winning and losing is being able to keep not being afraid to fail. And so it's good to talk about wins. A lot of times we always see the negative, but within the past 30 days, we've hosted 2 events here at Connect Café. Friendsgiving, I've had 4 different comedians up on the stage. We've had over 200 guests in the seats. We've had 2 incredible dinners. So if you're watching this, don't be afraid to celebrate the wins. We got to identify the losses, but the power of reflection is key, whether that's weekly, daily, every 30 days. So as we're setting up here, I'm reflecting and saying, man, a lot of good things has happened. Now, also, we got to have team meetings. How can we increase efficiency and things of that nature? But man, blessed to be setting up here and enjoy the process.
The reflection is tough, man, because, and I've had this kind of same perspective most recently, like, my entire career and really my whole MO was changing trajectory, like family history, generational change. Like when I'm done with this thing and retired, like ain't nobody that's been even close to me, their life's not going to be the same. Like family above, below, close, people I work with, all that. But then I started looking around and I was like, my infrastructure is pretty solid. The things that I've set up over the last 25 years of a lot of hard work. And I realized, like, I really don't want anything else, which is an interesting place to be. Like, I don't get up and go, I've experienced literally pretty much every goal I've ever set out, which is kind of wild to say. So I really just had a most recent perspective change on that. What I need to do is be searching more for the fulfillment side, which is why I'm driving here 2 hours. Because these are the type of things I want to do more of, because there's not really it's not up for debate whether Cory changes family anymore. I did, and I just have. I worked for that. I persevered through a bunch of crazy shit to create that. And now I've had more of a perspective change on, now it's like more about the enjoyment and fulfillment and not less work specifically, because that's not what was happening this morning. But the reality of is just reflection and enjoying on what's been set up and then creating more fulfillment and, getting results for other people.
Yeah, for sure. I say whenever you can add service, wake up and have the daily optimism, the perspective of just give and not really seek, fill that need. The bigger vacation, the bigger house, you've achieved everything. So now navigating your life of what really fulfills me. I'm not chasing a dollar bill. Yeah.
And honestly, it's weird not. I think I was chasing both at the same time for so long that it's so easy to be when I always hate when there's people that got money, it's not about the money. Well, yeah, it's because you got money. When I was fucking poor, I wanted to know what that felt like.
Yeah.
But so you should push to achieve those things. You can get a Ferrari and then choose not to have a Ferrari.
Yeah.
but you still know what it feels like.
Yeah.
My point is that I'll never be the guy that says it's not about that, because I think you should touch it. But then you get to choose whether it's still important or not. And I think to me, that was really important because I grew up poor. So I wanted to experience those type of luxuries and things. But then you realize that it's like, now that I've spent all this time setting this up, like, you know, really allowing people to understand what it takes and what's possible, and to meet somebody that has lived their true dream out. Like, I'm right here, sitting right here, and I can tell you the things that I've experienced are way wilder than I ever thought were possible, but I work towards them to be possible. And so I think when people can see under the hood, see what it takes here, like that's really what I'm passionate about now.
Yeah, speaking of that, Cory hits me up Sunday morning, traveling to Pittsburgh Steelers game. Pumped up, talking life, talking business. And he was like, Jerome Bettis hit me up. I'm on my way to the Steelers game, hanging out with Jerome Bettis today. So
I forgot to even mention it, like at a different time, right? It was like you're like, wait, hold on.
Like the bus, like the Hall of Fame Steelers quarterback. So quickly, and you know, that doesn't happen overnight. That happens worth of 25 years of consistency, 25 years of being a hard worker, 25 years is waking up doing what you say you're going to do. Cory, quickly kind of share the weekend and how that happened.
Well, the first thing I thought about was there was multiple things that happened this weekend that were probably 15 years in the making. And both guys that had connected with me that created a couple like pretty unique life things were like 35. They started following me when they were like 20. And so they had, were athletes that followed my programs, listened to the podcast. And so once again, just by me being consistent with my message, right? And so the first guy that hit me up probably a month ago, his name's Nick Pappas. He says, hey, Cory, I'm starting a podcast. I'd like you to be a guest. I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, I just happen to be the head for the NFL paint. Anything that's painted on an NFL field, I oversee. And he's like, basically between him and the guy who runs Augusta, I don't know that it gets any bigger. And he said, but what I'm great at is on the gun and mapping it out. He's like, I want to come and do your turkey bowl field. This dude didn't ask for $1, flies in from Atlanta, ships stuff from the NFL warehouse to paint the field, stencils, the same company that makes the ones for the Super Bowl. This dude painted the logo on the Super Bowl field. He's in my backyard painting my turkey bowl field for me and my family. Unbelievable, right?
And to give some context to the listener, this has been about 7 years in the making. 7 years ago, 10 years ago.
I've been painting the field by myself for 10 years.
Cory set out on Thanksgiving, like, how can I change my family tree? How can I get my kids active? Like, no, we're going to be the family rather than laying on the couch, eating and they still eat the pumpkin pie, but
for sure,
we're going to go out and camaraderie and be an athlete. And I've witnessed this at his birthday party at 47. He's playing 3-on-3 basketball like a 16-year-old, sweating. So that's the turkey bowl. This has been 10 years in the making of consistency.
This guy's been watching me paint my own field with I would go and get 2 5-gallon buckets of house paint, 12-inch roller, and just like, and you construction guys love this. I'd just be out in my yard eyeballing this thing, just painting. My neighbor came out the first year, I'll never forget it. And he was like, what are you doing? I'm like, painting a football field. He's like, and then, 2 years ago, Braxton Miller pulled up and played. We've had multiple Beanie Wells, Boom Herron. We had multiple like NFL dudes pull up and play in this field, which is wild over a decade.
Yeah.
But the reality is Nick came through and just made it unbelievable. And so that happened 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Then 2 weeks ago, I get a message, Jerome Bettis just starts following me out of nowhere. And I'm a huge Steeler fan. I grew up in Ohio Valley. Everybody's Steeler fans where I grew up. It's right across the river from Pittsburgh. So I message him like, yo, what up, Bus? And he's like, hey, my friend Landon told me to start following you. Landon Lassiter, who is in the Texas Rangers organization, he's a minor league baseball coach. When he was in the minors himself, he used all my training programs. And so he's friends with Jerome and just told him to hit me up. And so, a week later, I get invited to go sit in the suite with Jerome, field access, all the whole nine. And growing up as a Steeler fan, especially watching Jerome play, he was the coolest of all time. And just getting able to experience that. But I'm very thankful, but I also know how I got there. And so it was like, and I got to see some friends and some other people I haven't seen in a little while that was on the sidelines, which was really cool. Just ultimate access, and the reflection that even came throughout. And when I called you and I was talking to you, was like, the setup is crazy. Now I got to double down on the fulfillment and the inspiration part, because the other stuff, like, I'm not really trying to pursue some other thing anymore, essentially.
And when things like that happen to you, and as I get phone calls in my young entrepreneur journey, at this point, it's like they're starting to feel more common is because you've worked for them.
For sure.
Right? You've put in the work, and we talked about this before, is how do winners operate? How do winners operate? I'm pretty confident as you're standing on the Steelers sideline or in the Jerome Bettis suites, because I know you, it's like, I belong here. Like,
100%.
Like I belong here. And
yeah, I mean, I'm talking to FedEx executives and Aflac executives, and I saw a guy that I used to see at Arnold's house on a regular basis, Joe Manganiello, who's a big actor that lives in Pittsburgh now. Part of the time, like, we used to smoke cigars at Arnold's, like, Christmas party. So I'm just chilling on the sideline. He walks up. He's huge too. Maybe he looks small. He's like 6'5", like 260 or something. And I like dapped him up, got a chance to talk to him and kind of reconnect. And so, like, yeah, 100%. I know why I'm there. So that's the thing. Like, I believe now. I never used to feel that way early. You know what I mean? But that hasn't been that way in a long time. There's still a little bit of like insecurity because you're not some big executive, or like I don't fit in like any type of box. But I think that's also what makes me more unique too. So, but the confidence is earned in the morning. Yeah, 100%.
You can't take away the 3:15 alarm waking up every day. Confidence is definitely earned and not given.
And by reps, like doing this right here, like whether there's one person or 100 people here, like just earning the reps, figuring out the live stuff, like all this stuff is part of it, man.
And I'll share with you guys. So I'm 13 weeks into this podcast journey, fearful of speaking. Still, I question myself. I criticize my speaking ability, but I keep sitting in the chair. Surrounding myself with good people. Love the conversation. Anybody I come through here, I try to make connections with. Linked up with Dre. We're having a relationship. He provides the sound equipment. And I looked at him the other day and I said, you know what? We just created a super successful marketing company, but we don't even know it. So we had an hour conversation the other day. It's like, what about, I'm going to have this conversation regardless every single week. What if we begin to highlight a business? We share their story. And once again, it's about fulfillment. It's about service. Like, I want to know, as I sat down with Ben Hatmaker the other day, as I sat down with Meredith Tomlinson, like, I'm trying to figure out how they operate. Nobody's doing it around town. We're in Southern Ohio. Like, podcasts are easy. It's the easiest entry level to do. But guess what? People post 1 to 3 podcasts and it's a wrap. Because you got to be consistent. It's uncomfortable. You got to premeditate. And as I'm talking to Dre, I'm like, look, we're going to create a package, present it to a business. You're going to get a 60 to 90 minute podcast. You're going to get behind the scenes showcasing your service, your product, your staff. You're going to get 15 to 20 short videos, and we're going to help you win. And I know it's going to be successful. But had I not put myself in this chair for 12 to 13 weeks, that fruition, that spark never happens. Now I'm saying it out loud. I'm a big believer of the power of manifestation, speaking it into existence. But I'm super confident that Dre and I are going to help a lot of local businesses, and then therefore, it creates monetary for his ministry, and not everybody's.
Hey, first off, I've been around a lot of sets. Dre got some of the best equipment I've ever seen, and the best jeans of all time. But I'm telling you, like, I've been around some heavy stuff, and this stuff is very elite, bro.
And you know what? He'll hit me up during the week and be like, man, if I sell this camera, I can buy this camera. It's like he's always thinking on the next. I'm like, well, Dre, like, you got it. We don't need to go buy the 20,000, but he's always thinking. And I can't fault him because, once again, I want to buy the $100,000 oven. I don't want to buy the $2,000 oven. So it's the same thing.
Oh, super cool. I think that, the other thing too, Matt, which is awesome, is that when you dedicate and just say, we're going to show up on the first Tuesday, we're going to keep doing, like, once I made that as like a rule, essentially, and like each month how I operate, that's why I like today so much. It's just like when people, put their shoes on to go run or go lunge or whatever, and it starts raining. I usually start smiling, man.
Yeah.
Because I know it's a separator. I know today's a separator. It's a separator on the content we're putting together. It's a separator in our individual lives. Hopefully there's something we say either on the live or the guys that are here that's a separator. Like, that's the opportunity. And so I think, like, because you kept telling me 52 weeks. And I figure, okay, I'm going to fit in 12 of those at least, right? With me being here. And it's like, once you start speaking that out loud, and I think, like, everybody should have a version of that. Like let's say, whenever my business really separated as a personal trainer, I worked Saturdays, half day Saturday, every Saturday, half day Saturday for years.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just what I dedicated to. And so I think like when you say those type of things that believe you're a separator in your business, I think you start saying out loud, you start committing, you're telling yourself, you're reminding yourself it's important.
Heck yeah. So December 2nd, currently December 2nd, we are less than 30 days away from the most powerful day of the year, January 1, 2026. That's when life's going to change for everybody. We're going to wake up, all our bad habits are going to go away. We're going to have this game plan and we're going to rock 2026. We're going to win. We're going to not eat chocolate. We're not going to drink pop. We're going to not eat pizza, right?
Yeah.
Well, how about if you just created a lifestyle that you don't have to change from? What about if you just went to bed at 10 o'clock? What about if you just woke up at 4 or 5 or 6, whatever that consistent lifestyle is for you? I always talk about the blueprint. We got some construction guys in here. We got a blueprint. We have a game plan. We got some coaches. You got to have a game plan before you go into the game, or lack of preparation leads to poor performance. So a consistent, sustainable lifestyle. People want to talk about keto, carnivore, Atkins. Does those programs work? Absolutely. Does keto work? Yeah. Does Atkins work? Yes. But you know what doesn't work is whenever your son or daughter has a birthday party and I have cupcakes on Thursday and I have pizza. Well, guess what? Yeah. You're not in ketosis. You're delusional if that's what you're doing. Yeah. And I run a meal prep company here, and I don't want to say I have a lot of customers come in and say, hey, I'm on that keto diet. But I'm like, so what does that consist of? Like, tell me how many carbs? Like, well, I don't know. It's like, so you have to have a game plan. That's what I'm getting at. And I got 3 points here. The power of simplicity. Mm-hmm. The power of simplicity. We overcomplicate things a lot, from cold plunge to sauna to keto to fasting to this and that. Cory's created a lifestyle for himself. Macros. I got to eat 7 meals a day. I've never counted a macro in my life. I have a meal prep company, but I like carbs, fats. It don't really matter to me. I eat when I'm hungry. I try to eat real food. Grow it, pick it, shoot it, limit my sugar. And guess what? I went to the doctor 5 or 7 years ago. He gave me a prescription. He said, go do resistance training 3 to 5 days a week. And he said, walk 10,000 steps. That's it. And my doctor happened to be this dude right here. And I haven't been to the doctor in 7 or 10 years. Why? Because I daily movements, resistance train, and just create a lifestyle that's fun. Some months I'm a runner. Some months I'm a power lifter. But it's daily, consistent movement. 2 more things, Cory, and let you take over. Power of momentum. This guy's key talks about the power of momentum. Momentum is the easiest thing to destroy or create.
It's the hardest thing to create, the easiest thing to lose.
Yeah, the easiest thing to lose.
That's why I'm sitting here today.
The power of momentum in life. Man, if you're on a heater, if I'm at the blackjack table, don't take the dice out of his hands, right? Yeah. Steph Curry, when he goes 10 for 10, get him the ball. So the power of momentum is real. And then what I like to talk about is the power of manifestation. Speaking your life into reality. I talked to, Scott the other day. I said, Scott, it's going to be July 2026 before we know it.
Facts.
What does life look like for you at July 26? Like, you got to be living in the future in your head. Cory, tell me about that Abraham Lincoln quote.
Yeah, I'm going to take the ball from there for sure. The Abraham Lincoln quote, to believe things you can see and touch is no belief at all, but to believe in the unseen is a triumph and a blessing. And it's just like believing in faith and the life design. Back to what you're saying, like the daydream and the life design, whether it's your fitness, your business, like how do you want to operate is something I ask myself all the time. Now, how do I want to operate versus how do I need to operate is also, right now, how I need to operate so then I can, how I want to operate will change essentially. So it's like asking yourself those questions and also like looking and saying like, what does July look like? How many jobs do I want to be running? Like, what can my revenue really be? What's going to be required of me from a fitness standpoint to create those things? What's the momentum that needs to be created? How do I need to develop my main person I work with? Like, I'm always looking at those things. And then, how do I want to be sitting in that time? Like, I think that we can have our head down and be working, and that is necessary. But also we have to have at least a little bit of a foresight of at least per quarter. I always I go into the first of the year, and I do this usually the last week of the month in December. Sometimes it's been on a napkin. Sometimes I've been on a plane. I write about 6 goals down, nothing crazy. And I just go, and mine have always been 3 inside the gym and 3 outside the gym, obviously, because the gym is part of my business, right? Health and fitness. So if my gym and physique goals would happen, it would complement these other things. And there some of them were revenue, some of them were just life, some of them were the way I just want my life to be in general. But I would then put around each day, do I have enough actual actionable items that are contributing to one or all of these items on a regular basis? And I think I would think about this whole kind of thing of where do I want to sit at the end of 26? How do I want my day-to-day go? Here's the other thing is, what do I think I can stay with? What's necessary? So whether it's diet, whether it's lunging or walking or training, or how I'm eating and what time I'm working at, what can I really keep up with? And what's going to be required to move the needle. So I think those are all questions everyone has to ask themselves. And then what's the actual life design? What are we trying to do? Fortunately, I've had a lot of the things come true that I daydreamed because of all the work and that intentionality with those 5 or 6 things. Now I would carry some of them. I carried over be on the cover of a magazine for 6 years in a row. It's the only one I kept not getting until I got 14 of them. You know what I mean? So it was, I think I put it on my goal sheet in 2000. I think my first cover was in 2010. I think I started really believing in it about 2006. So 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it happened in 10. And then it was just boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? And so, but every year I'd carry that over and be this is the year. But I still believed that I kept working towards it. And I had 2 that I shot that didn't come out. I was telling my friends, oh yeah, this is the one. And then bang, another year went. Then another year went. But it definitely was a differentiator for me as a personality when that was a big thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so just keep in mind that some of them you might not hit, but also make sure they're within reason. A lot of people set up some goals that they got their actions don't even reach. They're not even close to okay, I'm doing 300,000 in sales. I'm going to do 1.3. Well, are you doing all the shit that's going to create that extra million? Or are you just putting out some dumb shit that you're not going to then you're just setting yourself up to fail. So I like to put stuff where if I bust my ass and put all these things in motion, it's within reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not just an easy chip shot. It's not 300 to 400. Maybe it's 475. You see what I'm saying? And so I think that because I had realistic, difficult goals set for myself that I reached pretty often, that's how it kept me scaling up.
Yeah, that's where, as we're heading into January, I just see so many people set themselves up to fail. I'm going to quit this. And then within 2 or 3 days, it's unsustainable. I quit and I go right back to the roots. So I just encourage you out there. I encourage our guests in here, what does January look like? And right now you might be living your best life. You might have it all together. I know as we go into Thanksgiving, as we go into Christmas, the world gets soft. We're entitled to the extra Netflix. We're entitled to cakes and pies all the time. And if you go somewhere and you're no, I'll pass on the pumpkin pie, then you're the weirdo, right? Ain't nobody that has money, what's it say, criticizing you for saving more money. Ain't nobody that has abs criticizing you for giving the stiff arm to the pumpkin pie. Which leads me into, I'd ask, who is your circle? Cory's asked me this, who's your Fab 5? Who's your Fab 3? If you were the smartest person in the room, you need to find a bigger room. And I'll play this back to close to now, October of maybe 24, 23, I can't even remember. I was hanging out with Cory. Keeney's kitchen was a little bit complacent. I had Lucasville under control. We were trying to build Columbus, but I still had downtime within my day. I looked at him and I said, you know what, Chillicothe, I'm doing it. But had I not been around winners, had I not been around people that's executing at a higher level than me, I would have felt like I was winning because I'm from Lucasville. Say mom didn't graduate, dad's a drug addict, passed away, narcotics. I'm winning as being a business owner, regardless if I'm making $30,000 a year or $300,000 a year. I'm a winner in my family. So I would just ask you, who is your team that's elevating you to pursue higher goals? Because it's real easy to be complacent.
Well, two things. I actually was just having this conversation with my son and two of his friends that were at Ohio State that are entrepreneurs. And especially because they grew up in the social media area, so much comparison, right? They were asking me about when I started, and this kind of piggybacks off what you just said. Like the first time the lady gave me $20 to personal train, I felt like I was winning, right? Yeah. Because I was making 14 as a coal miner, $21 overtime, and somebody just paid me to do bicep curls with them for the same I was making overtime money. So to me, I was like, oh, this is a thing, right? Secondly, when I was actually able to pay all my bills by lifting weights, like I felt successful, like, and I had a gym, it was smaller than the Keeney's kitchen over here, but my gym, like it was happening and I was paying my bills. So I already felt successful. If you're paying your bills, doing what you guys are out here trying to do, you're successful.
Yeah.
Like don't let Facebook or whoever's bomb or whatever tell you that ain't true, because it is. And so that's the start of it. Then after that, where do you take it to? That's all depending on a bunch of different factors. And so my point is, like I was telling these kids, I'm like, don't just because someone else is probably lying to you on Instagram, think you're not doing good. If you're able to execute those things, you're doing your business, what you chose to do, and you are able to pay your bills. Dre, if you're able to do what you're doing, you already are successful. You don't need any other validation. The level of success you take it to is on you or on your circle of who you're around, because at the end of the day, when I would be around these heavy hitter, high level, one name type of people, you see how they operate. You see the confidence that they exude. You see how psycho they are about their craft. And you realize, am I that?
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
And it's not for everybody. But the point is that you get to choose that. But I also think that some people, and I've been guilty of this myself too, it's like, it's not enough, it's not enough, it's not enough. But then you start to look around and be like, man, I've came so far. I've came so far. This place has came so far. Like when I was here last month, they were still putting the boards on this thing. You know what I mean? And so like, I think that reflection with the people that you put yourself around, you guys chose to be here today, to hopefully you would hear something exactly like that. Like that's the key to the whole thing. But I think it's a mix of all of those things.
Yeah, and always, the financial dollar does not change your life, or as Cory saying, the fulfillment. Gary Vee talks about this. It doesn't matter if you're the waitress. It doesn't matter if you're the dishwasher. It doesn't matter if you make $50,000 or $75,000. It's like, do you enjoy your life? Like the comparison is a thief of joy.
Facts.
So not everybody has to be the business owner, the entrepreneur, but do you wake up and find fulfillment? I got a couple baristas in here. Is like, man, like, I've worked at Olive Garden, I've worked at Texas Roadhouse, and here I just get a little bit more fulfillment because the customer's a little bit more kind. We've all been to fast food or the bigger change. It's like, I'm the entitled customer. And because really, when you go to, let's just say Texas Roadhouse, sorry if anybody that's going to offend somebody, but there's really no local owner tied to Texas Roadhouse. We don't know who that family is. Not that I'm ever aware. I've never met the big dog at one of the big guys. So as you come in here, you're getting that handshake from an aunt, a cousin, an owner, a co-owner, the general manager that cares. Which Cory's going to lead us into. We're going to touch base on power, momentum, and then the power of, what was that last one I had? Power of, manifestation. So the power of momentum. 13 weeks right here sitting in the seat, heating up. Power momentum in a diet, power momentum in lunges. Cory, this is your jam. Talk about how momentum has impacted your life and transformed it.
Yeah, I think I've gained it and lost it so many times, as all of us, because everybody, it's a human trait. You get hot and then you get complacent. It's just the way it is, right? And then what happened was, after that happened a few times to me, I tried to keep the hot longer than the complacency. And then I started realizing when things started heating up, I started really looking at it like, could I put gasoline on the whole thing when it was like that? So I would try to look at when things would really start to creep up. Instead of going, ooh, let me chill and just ride this, I started looking at like a chess game on where do I just like ignite it to an entirely different level, whether it was, putting myself in more uncomfortable situations, my fitness, my development, going out and doing like whatever it was in that time. I started recognizing those cycles. And sometimes those cycles are shorter or longer. It just kind of depends. And so I think recognizing how you created it, recognizing how you lost it. Those are really important things, because then when you create it again, don't get too like full of yourself. Realize, okay, what did I have to do? It was get up earlier today, pack orders. Like, I know how the next level of momentum is going to be created. So then, just like anybody else that's human, I have to do a better job of not being complacent once it's actually created again.
Cory, I'm going to stop you there and share this with Dre, our listeners, our guest.
Sure.
You've, in the past 26 days, you've created your own momentum, okay?
Yeah.
For within your business, sometimes you've delegated social media, or you've been busy focused on other multiple different business ventures. But talk about, for the past 26 days, you woke up, went back to grassroots organic, right from a cell phone. Everybody thinks like, hey, I got to have this powerful production. And this is nice. I look at this as a college course, but I created 2 or 3 businesses without the setup. We've created right here. So Cory, for 26 days, what have you done and what have you seen in return?
Yeah, first off, I love this part because it doesn't require anyone else. You know what I mean? But to your point, like, Trey and Kyle in the past, like, those setups are important too, to have it to this level, right? But what I'm seeing on social media is going back to the founder, back to the authentic creator, which is easier for me because that's how I built this in the first place. It changed and went more polished for a while. And I would say I was not as good at that, to be honest with you. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go. I had a friend that works with the Seahawks that I was on Team Reebok with. I saw a video. He said he put 5 posts up a day for a year. And his shit exploded. And I was like, all right, cool. I don't even know what I'm going to post 5 times a day because I haven't done this in a while. Because I've been having multiple social media, like, guys like Dre helping me out, Trey and Kyle for years. And it's like, I was like, okay, I need to do that part still. But now I need to get back in the weeds on just like documenting, showing what it really takes, the things that we're talking about, doing more long form. Anyway, so 5 posts a day for 26 days. And like, literally, I think it was like 300% increase in analytics. The amount of accounts that, just like my Instagram, I'll just speak from that because that's it hit like 900,000 accounts. Like, I mean, it literally, like, by all like analytics, it exploded compared to what was going on. And Hormozy said something that was really interesting. He was like, he's posting like, I think he said like 300 pieces of content between all platforms a week. And he's like, and you're doing 1 cool post on Instagram a day? Like, not to me, that's what he said in the world. But I mean, I felt like he was talking to me. And so I was like, okay, let me get to where I'm going 5 a day. I'll distribute more out there. But yeah, it's been unbelievable change already. And so what happens when it is a year? I already know.
Yeah.
I would argue that that's probably why Nick hit me up about the field. It's probably why Jerome hit me up about coming to the game. Those are already indicators of just me being on top of mind. And so here's my thing is, I've achieved a good relationship with a lot of people that have already been purchasing and listening to my content for a really long time, but they haven't been seeing me. I didn't realize that the algorithm was taking a slice of that one post and barely showing it to anybody. And now I've had people messaging me, hey man, I ain't seen your stuff in months, but now I've been seeing it all the time. Like, okay, that's what I needed to hear.
Yeah. So what
cool.
I like is, 25 years in the business, still self-reflecting, realizing, okay, hey, I had to make some changes within the business. I got to go back to grassroots. What's easy to do is not easy to do. Man, we could all go live. We could all make a video, and you're going to think, man, what are they going to think of me? What if I didn't sound correctly? And just, man, the power of consistency. 3:45 making a video. Is it exhausting? Me and Cory was talking about. Doug, you know about it. Like, you set the camera up, like, you'll have 3 hours into a 30-second post, and it's like, man, then you feel guilty. It's like, man, I don't post enough. So it just, even Sundays, he's telling me that he's driving to the Steelers game. I'm like, all right, Matt, you need to get back to your grassroots. Like, I'm not saying I've been relying on Dre for all this polish, but we set this up. No,
it's a combo.
Yeah, combo. But also think like people they would be more intrigued and more respective. Like, they see me going to the game at 7 p.m. or coaching sports Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So he just pushed me to get back to my organic roots. So yeah, I want to share that.
And a lot of people, they just can identify with what they're supporting. Like, hey, this is really what's happening. And I like supporting this because, and I just haven't been showing this stuff for a really long time. It's actually been good. Now that I'm in the rhythm of it, it's like, now it's just the game of time.
Yeah, so we're heading into 2026. We all know that. Power of manifestation. Listened to Lewis Howes a couple weeks ago, kind of talked about this. Speaking of, Cory Gregory right here has been, if you don't know Lewis Howes, Cory's had the opportunity to sit on his podcast.
Yeah, it was cool.
Been top 1, top 5 for 10 years in a row. Lewis is from...
Lewis, Ohio guy.
Columbus, Ohio. But if you need some powerful content, Lewis is your guy. Dream... I don't know how in the power of my manifestation, there's 4 key components that have just stuck with me since day one. Back to the fitness trailer in the school parking lot, trying to change my family tree as I studied from Cory. It's like grandfather, alcoholic, divorced. Dad, alcoholic, divorced, narcotics, addicted to women. Me, son, same thing, footprints. 17 to 25, if you knew me, you was having a good time that night. I had about $5 in my pocket. We'd have the best party. I'd host a party. I mean, I could go on spring break with $100 and stay there for 7 days. I don't know how I did it. And yeah, I went on 7 spring breaks. But let's talk about it. Dream, visualize, engineer, action. Dream. We talk about the ability to dream. 2020, July 2026. I already know I'm going to have a fitness expo in this parking lot, July 2026. Why? Why not? It's on me, my habits, rituals, routines. Can I make it happen? Can I build relationships? Visualize. What does that day look like? Continue to visualize why I'm driving down the road, why I'm on the Stairmaster, why I'm in my cardio, why I'm in my quiet time. Visualize the end process, visualize it. Dream, visualize, engineer. Now this is where the game plan, the blueprint, engineer the plan, reverse engineer. Okay, if I have this plan in July, how do I get it to happen? And here it's December 2nd. So I'm already thinking it. I got to engineer the plan. And then it all comes down to daily action. Action, 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 consistency. We could have easily canceled today, but guess what? We got the 13th week. We got the 4th or 5th rep of you and I.
Yeah. Let me ask you about the visualization part, Max. I think that's where a lot of people struggle because they think it's like kind of hokey. How did you get better at it or force yourself to do it more? Or because I think people can even think about the action part or the engineer part, but I think sometimes that part might be too scary for them. Essentially, like they feel like they're living in the clouds. And by the way, you don't have to tell anybody. Also, you can just do it on your own. You know what I mean?
I think when I began to be confident in myself with the daily consistent habits, it made it a lot easier, a lot clearer to see. So whenever I was unconfident, whenever I was drinking alcohol, whenever I was going to B-dubs on Friday hanging with the boys, everything was cloudy. As I began to go to bed earlier, as I began to read self-development, I could see a little bit further. I could see, one, because I had ultimate self-belief.
It got more clear.
Ultimate self-belief. So now I can see 2 or 3 months. I tell Megan right there in the back, shout out Megan. Hey Megan, we're living 2 to 3 months in advance. Here's today, but I promise you this is what February is going to look like. So
that's
confidence.
Where it came from.
I think confidence allows you to be more clear.
Yeah, I think that when you reflect and you're building on that confidence, like you start to believe, you're believing in yourself a lot more. So then the things you see, or maybe the intuition that kind of speaks to you, go, oh wait, that can happen, or it is possible with the action that I'm putting behind it. But I think that's one thing that people struggle with. I think a lot of people think they got to tell somebody too. I mean, you can tell somebody if you want. You can tell your significant other, your friend, your person that supports you, but it's really only for you. And see, I think I didn't really share it, maybe with a couple friends, but I wasn't really like waiting for someone else to see my vision. And I'm glad, because I realized as I got older that no one could really see it like I see it. Yeah. Matt can tell me his exact vision and I can believe it because I believe in Matt, but I can't believe in Matt's vision because it's his. It's unique to him. So I think some people think they need validation from that. Like the wild shit I was thinking, ain't nobody was going to say, oh yeah. And I used to like look in people's eyes and I could tell they didn't believe in me. So then I quit telling them, because it wasn't really for me to share. And so even today, like the things that I think, like I'll say to Rachel, and she's been seeing so many things come true. It's not that she don't believe, but she'll like even make comments just messing with me. But the reality is like, you don't really need anybody else to validate it.
And so think about this. There's some poverty in my family. There's some mistakes. There's some struggles. Okay, and I talk about family. A lot of times we treat our family the worst. Sometimes our family is the closest people to pull you back. As you begin to separate, it showcases insecurities, and especially finances. families don't talk about finances. Moms and dads or previous generations, they don't want to, if they struggle to pay the electric bill, the goal is to not let the kids know that they're struggling to pay the electric bill. And then we keep that financial literacy suppressed. Yeah. So my point is, I was up at Cory's giving a small 15-minute talk, and I spoke into existence that, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire in 2 years. I'm the power of speaking it out loud, right? And there's different ways, different avenues of millionaire. It could be equity in a house. It could be equity in a business. It could be cash, 401k. Saying a millionaire in my family is like not even humanly possible. Dad grew up in a trailer. Mom grew up in a trailer. Both never made more than $35,000 a year, and that was a good year. Now my mother, 25 years later, is making the most money she ever made. She's a hard worker, running her nursing business and excelling big time. But my point is saying that to somebody in my family, they're immediately going to cast stones like I'm vain, like too much, because it immediately showcases their lack of consistency, their lack of self-development, their lack of education. Nobody told me to read a book 7 years ago. The power of one book changed my life. If I can do it, you can do it. If Dre can do it, if he could say, Jesus, take this narcotic away from me, it's possible.
I force financial talk in my house constantly. I think it's super important because it was exactly what Matt talked about, is exactly how I was raised too. And I think it's a kind of a funny statement, but people that talk about money have money, and people that don't usually don't.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's just the truth, because it's like a kind of shut down topic, but in my office, it's not. Like it's cool to talk about, I bought this stock this week. I have a group I coach on Wednesday nights. They post periodically, these are the stocks I bought, this is the crypto I bought, whatever. Me and my mom and my stepdad talk about, my stepdad, 40-year coal miner. He has a desk in his gym in the basement where he studies stocks now to get with his financial guy. Him and my mom, and we sit down and talk about that stuff all the time. I was just talking about that I gave Amazon stock to my kids for 6 years in a row at Christmas. And I made them go to the financial advisor with the stock and look at it and understand their account. And even though it had moved into some decent money, but nothing crazy, but it's way more than I ever had whenever I was so it's just enough that they understand it, but not enough that they still can't be hungry. Because that's the thing, is they have support, because they're not I was like a caged animal trying to change stuff. It's different, right? I can't replicate that. My kids aren't going to have that. I took my kids to school in Rolls Royces and shit. It's different, right? But they can still be hungry, because I remind them it's not their money, it's my fucking money. They still got to go do their own thing. I'm going to support them. And I see the hunger that they're creating of what they want to build for themselves, but they ain't just getting it handed to them. And so I think, but them having financial IQ different than I had, they have an understanding of how the money works for them. And that's the part I'm trying to teach.
Yeah. And I could check myself right now, is because I've seen him for the past 6 years buy a stock for his sons and daughters at Christmas. I've yet to do it. I see it every year. It's the breakthrough of financial literacy. Yep. So, powerful. And this year, whether it's $200, $500,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Just
it's starting the process.
Then that's going to introduce, whenever my son's 8 opens it up, hey, you got $200 in Disney, whatever.
Buying something they know too is key, I think.
And so back to Warren Buffett, not back to Warren Buffett, but what is it? Ketchup, chocolate, and Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah, it's all stuff.
Yeah, never going away. So Warren Buffett talks about toilet paper, ketchup, chocolate, Coca-Cola. Yeah. If you invest that today, tomorrow, it's pretty it's not going to be the big mover, but it's going to move.
Here's what started happening too, is after a couple of years, then Ann and my youngest came to me hey, I got an extra $100 of my birthday money. Can I buy a Nike share? Hey Dad, how much is Toyota stock? Just that process started. So I looked their Amazon that I gave them one share for however many years. It's split a couple times. The 4,000 I invested is worth 9,500 now.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was not even a crazy amount of money, but it was just the time involved. And so now, as my daughter's graduating high school, I'm your account's XXX, you know what I mean? And it's she can look at that and go, oh wait, I remember getting this when I was 12. Now I'm 18. You know what I mean? It's starting to understand oh, that's how it works. And see, that's the type of thing like that I didn't have present in my life. So it's like that understanding is so powerful. And understanding, like I would take them into the Joe's office and say, you own this share of X and it paid a dividend of $3.50, and that just reinvested each quarter. And so now you have a whole extra share of that for free. And then it's just easy math. So just like very basic financial understanding. And once I understood that, and then now I'm trying to like change. So now my parents understand it and my kids understand it. And I had one day, which I was super proud of, where Andon and my mom both text me about a stock. My youngest son and my mom on the same day.
Wow.
Like, and to me, that was like, I'm like, this is exactly what I was trying to do. It's pretty cool.
Good deal. Well, hey, if you guessed in here, me and Cory's, we could talk with the best of them.
For sure.
But it's not, the rest of the day is not about us. It's about you. So don't want to put you on the spot. We'll still carry on. But Marshall, at this point, don't worry about no camera. Don't worry about nothing. But Andrew, Doug,
any questions?
I mean, let's kick it for another 5 or 10 minutes. Anything, man.
Just put him on the spot. Marshall,
2 years. I can say one thing is I'm proud about. I've been close to 3 years, no alcohol.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Friday nights, loved it. And I once I put that alcohol down, I'm still able to have fun. I went to Cory's at island parties. It's there, it's not there. There's several people drinking, several people not drinking, but it's like I can have fun without the bottle, and it's so refreshing.
Yeah, congrats.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So we are going to put you on the spot.
Yeah,
Doug, you are getting a
that's
question.
part of growth. Make sure he's on, Dre.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm loving the conversation you guys are having, and one of the things I'm pulling from it that I've kind of had this narrative in my household a lot, but I'm seeing with both of you guys character. These things are only magnified by your character. So if your character is wavering, it's very difficult to be sustainable. And so I have 5 kids in my house, and I can tell them all the same thing, but the character and personality traits of one child may be different from another. So taking a perspective, like you guys are saying, man, speaking things into existence, walking out things that you've already set a phase for. One thing we do in our household is every December, right before that January 1st, we do vision boards.
Love it.
We'll get magazines, we'll cut them up, stuff like that. But what I want to hear from you guys is, you've kind of talked about manifesting, you've kind of talked about setting goals and different things like that, sowing into your children. Have you seen, man, I am getting X return on this one thing time and time again? It doesn't matter if it's this kid, that kid, this person, that person. It's like, and I'm not trying to hit the gold mine and run with it, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to prompt people to look into what they have, what's been successful for them, to go, I know my personality trait, I can do this, and it's been successful for me, but we all have a little bit of differences. So, Cory or Matt, hey, Cory may have one thing he's doing that's killing it with everybody, and Matt, you too, and so I'm just kind of seeing if there's something that, like a nugget that you guys
I can share what I just saw recently. Like, I was at my parents' house for Thanksgiving, and I was, downstairs with my stepdad. We always lift weights. My stepdad's the one who got me the job at the coal mine. Also, I remember him working 16-hour shifts and come home and still benching 300 pounds when I was in high school, and actually all the way till just not very many years ago. He's a super strong dude, but he was super consistent. Also, my grandfather's super consistent with lifting and with construction, and he was a miner, but not for very long. But either way, I watched them both, the main kind of male figures in my life, both lifted weights and both worked a lot of hours. And so, in my own way, I'm doing the same thing. And so it's like, what I've saw with my kids is they just know that I don't miss workouts, and they've seen how our life has, kind of, I guess, happened, right? And what is awesome is my oldest, I was the most nervous about because he was the most resistant to it. But then once his friends started being like, well, we want to train with your dad and and he kind of caught on, and then he took it on fire. Every one of my kids, when they're around, they're at the gym almost every day. So meaning if they're in town, like AG, my oldest, is in town right now, I'm sure when I go back home today, he'll be there. My daughter comes through almost every day. My son's there almost every day. And that is not by me telling them to be there. They're just there. Now, whether they do it for their job is not what I need to happen, but I know how much confidence it will create in their life because they're understanding how to be consistent. They're understanding how to build confidence in themselves, and they just watched it. They watched it. I didn't have to tell them. And so when I saw my son just presented at Ohio State, like in a Shark Tank thing, he won $5,000 for his business. And that morning, well, it was that afternoon, he's still in college. I call him like at 12. He's like, Dad, I'm doing chess right now, blah, 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 blah. He's in crazy shape right now. He got on stage, super confident. Got $5,000 towards his business. I'm looking at it as a good return on my investment for college because he's out there getting, and he's got another contest he's going to be in for $50,000 later in the year, but not missing workouts, eating good, building confidence. My daughter was in gymnastics for a long time, but now just showing up at the gym. And my youngest son, like, he's definitely into the gym, like big time. Like I could see him potentially being in the business, but the reality is like, that's probably the most happy I'm at. When they all three come through, I'm just like, cause I know what it's going to contribute to their life if they just stay consistent with it. So that's the thing I'm probably, other than this other financial stuff, like I'm the most proud of that because I know the value of that is immense, Marshall. So, but I'd like to say I did it on purpose. I kind of did, but I kind of didn't, Yep.
Hey, I could go two ways. I'm going to be quick. Two ways is, at the end of the day, my kids don't care. They don't care that I have 4 Keeney's meal preps. They don't care that Connect Café. Actually, they probably dislike it. What they want is they want me to have a ball in the backyard. And I currently fight with it. I'm a failure. I'm exhausted when I get home at times. As I tell this, you can only give. My wife gets sometimes the bottom of my cup. So I try to make it a point, but I would say at the end of the day, my kids don't care about my possessions. So your kids may not care about your possessions, but what they do have is the character that mom and dad, the non-negotiables, like we got Keeney on the back of our jersey. This is how we operate. We're going to respect others. We're going to be the hardest worker on the team. My kids are super successful in youth athletics. You'll never hear me say my son is the best because he's not, because there's somebody on the other team that's going to be way better than him. He might be the best in his little circle, but there's always somebody out there better than you. But yeah, that's what I fight with a lot is about failure of dad. And then I think back is like, man, I don't know what it looks like. And it didn't come with a blueprint because I didn't have anything to model.
You progressed from there though. That's the thing. The same thing with me. I didn't really have a good model either. So it's like, I know I've increased and they're still going to have things they're going to want to change. That's just part of it. But the other thing is I try to speak confidence to them all the time. I tell them like, we're representing our name. We're winners. We should expect to win. Yeah, if we're putting if we're putting the action in around it, you should expect to win. Not in an arrogant way, just in a confident way. And so that's one of the things I've said multiple times. Like when AG was getting ready to do that thing, the top prize was 20. You're going for the 20, bro. You're not just going to participate. You know what I mean? You prepare like you're going to get the 20. Yeah. He ended up with the 5. We're still winning. You know what I mean? And so I think that speaking confidence in them, I didn't realize how important that is because my mom did that to a certain degree, but like having especially your same-sex parent too, or I mean, I guess the even opposite sex parent, like speaking confidence and belief is huge. And I've done that real consistently too, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
What else?
Andrew, go ahead.
I just want to say, coming to this, I've heard you say it a lot, but it's just, speaking that existence into what you wanna have in your life, and like I've done that the past month, things have been showing up in my life, and like, just speaking that every morning, and like you said, like making a vision board, I have a whole paper at my house, and I write stuff down every morning.
Hell yeah.
I check stuff off. But it's like, for me, I think if I don't have it on paper, how am I going to remember it? How am I going to get there? And like for me, the past 2 months for me, it's just been, I'll write down a goal, but then I'll write down how I'm going to attack that goal and go after that goal.
There you go.
My big things in life, is work, but also the gym, and I fell in love with the gym 8 months ago. I never really went to the gym before that. I was battling addiction. I'm 2.5 years clean.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, that gym and then work added onto it with the good fulfillment atmosphere that I have, there's nothing better about that. It's really brought joy, peace, and happiness in my life. But I just appreciate y'all coming down, you know, and just giving me advice, you know, being as young as I am at 24 years old, you know, and I'm really trying to set myself up for success in my life and putting people around me that's going to help me propel me into my next season. So I appreciate y'all coming down.
The new addiction is what you feel right now. And that's what I think people got to get comfortable with, is like, you're addicted to feeling good, being successful, having the joy, the peace, the work, like leaning into that. Yeah. That's what you're chasing, bro.
Absolutely.
And if you can keep that on the tracks for a period of time and be consistent, it's a wrap.
Absolutely.
It's like you're a killer in training right now.
Yes, sir. I love it. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, and I would say, Andrew, there's a lot of 24-years out there that are still in the party life, still in the complacency, chilling, minimum wage. So, separate yourself. It's all right. Stiff arm them. Keep doing what you do. Go to bed at 10 o'clock. Wake up at 4, and I guarantee you'll have everything they wish they desired to have.
It's crazy. I've cut so many people out so far, you know. And
they cut themselves out, bro.
They're weeding themselves out for sure. And it's like, you know, for me, I think that was the biggest step. You know, cutting the naysayers and negativity out of my life, just to, like I said, put me in line with people that want to see me grow. So thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Next time I'll tell them they can still get coffee.
Go ahead, give us something, Scott. You're built a great.
I want to say I look forward to this.
Thanks, Scott.
Since the last one, I really look forward to this one.
Hell yeah.
Being a new entrepreneur, I'm struggling with different things now, and I talked to Matt about, talks about the manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing now I'm struggling with is, I don't know if you have any direction for that. I feel like I'm on this, how to word, like rinse, repeat every day. Like it's just, I'm in this circle of the same.
It's Groundhog Day.
Yeah. I did, since the last one, I've changed the morning routine. I made it earlier. Like,
hell yeah.
We're in the gym every morning. It was at 8:30. I talked to the wife. I'm like, hey, you have to take the kids to school now. I need to be in the gym at 6.
Yeah.
And so I've moved everything up to start the day early with work.
How's that helping, Scott?
It's helping.
Yeah.
It's getting me more caught up on some work.
Good.
I guess, but I'm still in that just almost a funk now of how to get over that sort of like the Groundhog Day.
So here's exactly how I did it. You got to start to identify what the wins are and understand that those like Groundhog Day situations, like it's almost like Kobe used to talk about it all the time, right? It's like you're doing all of these things for like sometimes what are kind of small wins, but if you don't like just pass it, like you got to recognize like all of that equaled this, and eventually it's just going to keep like the bricks. Then there's going to be something that's like might not be life changing, but it'll clearly be something that you're like, oh, that came to me because of I'm at 6. If you told me you were going at 8:30, I would have been like, that's cute. I'm gonna kill that dude. You know what I mean? Like that's the way I look. That's just me being honest, right? And so like 6 is way different, bro. So now 6 for 6 months, back to like that June, July, that's different. There's going to be things, but if you can start to take your brain off, I'm repeating this in more of like, this is what's required so I can live completely different. But the problem is that's where people get messed up because they can't repeat it often enough because they need more gratification, or even when the gratification is there, you're maybe not giving yourself enough, like not feedback to the chill, but be like, oh, that's why. So I think maybe it might be more awareness of like, once again, it's back to you're paying your bills by right now. It's already successful. You just upped your game by going from 6 to 8:30, right? So now you're getting in more of a killer mentality. And so now it's just probably time involved. That's it, Scott. Time involved to where something comes across your plate where you're like, that's not going to be there if I didn't do these things. Like it just, or you wouldn't be able to get that job done in that amount of time, or the next person where the job's bigger and more money and hopefully more profitable wouldn't even have came your way if you weren't operating in this way. So like, I think maybe it might just because you're so new, you have to lean in that there's like really honestly, like the stuff that's the glitz and glamour is so few and far between, but you're fighting for that freedom. The freedom and opportunity to do something completely different than you've probably ever experienced. That's what those days are for. And I think that's why like the personal development, the training and the stuff and things like this, like it just in the vision board, out of sight, out of mind, if it's not there, it takes all of that all the time to contribute to be able to get through those days, and just realize when you put it all on the field, you're like, man, I'm one day closer, not one day further away. That's literally that simple. So hopefully that helped a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and Scott, I would say without Groundhog Day, there is no opportunity.
Yeah.
Groundhog Day yields opportunity. It's not week 1. It's not week 4. It's not week 8, week 12. It might be week 24. All right. Am I willing to endure Groundhog Day to have the opportunity for that aha moment? And then I would also say is like, I'm a numbers guy. 2 hours. You've increased 2 hours of workload to your day. 2 times 5, that's 10. You're working an extra week. You was working 4 weeks a month. Now you're working 5 weeks a month.
Facts.
So when I get to 90 days, you got 120 hours of extra work.
Yeah.
So yields a greater either something in your bank account, another opportunity.
So Kobe used to talk about how he had 3 days in one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes that's how I feel too. Like I'm, by 7 a.m. got more done than most people do in the whole day. I've been doing that shit for 15 years. Like it's almost impossible. Here's the other thing is when things come across, like the things that just happened to me, I'm not surprised because of the Groundhog Days. You know what I mean? And so I think when some of that stuff starts to happen, you can't expect the time frame of it, but when it comes, you're like, all right, I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. So I think like just leaning more into that and knowing that's what you signed up for and that's what's required to get those other things. And then what happens is over time, people be like, how did this and that and this and that happen? And all of these things, they look awesome. And it's because of all those days, unfortunately, but fortunately. So hopefully that helped. Yeah, man.
And it to our weightlifting friend and
Just got Doug.
video maniac.
Well, I don't necessarily have a question. Maybe certainly you guys can just feed off of
Sure.
it. Because Cory was kind of talking about the stocks and stuff with his kids and setting his kids up for success. Something that I struggle with, and I'm sure you guys do as well, is like, because you guys are hustlers, like obviously that's what I pride myself in. I'm a hustler, whatever. I don't necessarily chase a dollar, but because I see more value in freedom, but if there's a dollar to be made and I got freedom, I'm going to go chase it. So,
Sure.
Or, which Matt, we haven't had most of the time, anytime we talk, same with you, Cory, it's
Yeah.
all about fitness and stuff.
Yeah.
I have a family cleaning business in Dayton and Columbus. So that's kind of like, I've actually cleaned this place numerous times.
Oh,
Okay.
no kidding.
Trent was sending me come here and clean it.
Okay.
But then, so, I'll clean windows on the side, I'll do
Yeah.
all the stuff on the side. I coach, I have a coaching business on the side too, I do video work on the side. Like, those are my 2 passions. Like, I want to kind of intermix those. That's where, like, Sornix comes in.
Yeah, makes sense.
But get pulled in all these 2 different directions. My kids see this, they see the hustle behind it. And sometimes I wonder, like, is me being all over the place, not, being the term, the jack of all trades, master of none, because that's essentially what I am. Like, that's where I struggle. Like, should I be getting them to hone in or something? Because I don't know if I see that in, when I was a kid, I was walking around mowing lawns. That was like my thing. Like, I hustled when I was like 9 years old.
Sure.
But we didn't live in the neighborhood. My kids can't do that.
Yeah.
And
I get what you're asking.
Like, they're 11 and 13, so it's like hard to say, like, I don't see entrepreneurship anymore with that, like, kind of hustle and grind, but sometimes I just wonder, like, if they see me all over the place. Like,
Yeah, but the time's yours though. Meaning like, so what they are, this is my opinion, because I do a lot of different things too that is all kind of in the same area of stuff. And I think that what you're showing too is that you're doing things that you're into. Part of it might be a family business that's legacy. The other parts are passions. And you clearly like represent yourself like in the space. So it's like, to me, I think you're showing them exactly just who you are. Now, could you double down on one and just do, but I even think that about myself. Like, I don't even know that I could just do one thing.
Yeah.
I just think my brain doesn't even really work that way. Yeah. So
especially now, like,
Matt's selling coffee. When I first met him, like we didn't talk about that. Like, I mean, or, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that, I don't know that it's a bad thing. I think that it just depends on what you want. I think you believe in enough to make enough to pay, your overhead and bills and do your thing with all of these different things. Yeah, I don't see. I'm not the person that thinks it only has to be one thing, because I don't think my mind has ever been that way. So,
Yeah, I think the kids are just going to model behavior,
Yeah.
actions, character. So as long as you and your spouse run the house in a ethical, moral way, and I know you do. I know you're a man of faith and doing things the right way and treating others right. But also, I don't think at this point, and I think all of us, I don't know, at this point, I'm not going to wake up and dislike my day. If I'm doing something just to do it for I just couldn't do it. So everything that I do these days, sometimes they're not all monetary, but I do things that I love and enjoy. Like everything about my life right now, I love. And if it ever come to a point, if I dislike this place, I'm going to sell it or hand the keys to somebody else. So wake up, and if you can pursue happiness, I think that's going to showcase through your kids, and it's just going to lead to an opportunity that might be the financial gain. It might be a new job, career, but
well, and Doug, if that was your primary focus, you'd probably lean into whatever was making more money, but it might not be, and that's okay too. You know what I mean? So it just depends on you know what I'm saying?
Because then it's just like God pulls me in all these different directions. I feel like it's like one moment I'll be focused on in the video room.
Yeah.
It's like God just opened these doors for me, and mentally it's coaching. God opens the door on this, and it's just like I get pulled in all these directions. Like, man,
I mean,
where am I?
Yeah, I don't think it's right or wrong. I think it just is whatever. So to me, I was always intrigued by the person that just kind of did whatever they did, that it wasn't like in some type of box. So to me, that was like what.
That's what I always never box me in.
No, well,
I do always say that.
that's one entrepreneur 101, bro.
Doug, I would also say this, because I thought I was going to be a high school football coach and the gym coach at the high school.
I thought I was going to be a gym teacher.
Okay, so be a weightlifting coach. We know there's not much financial gain being the high school weightlifting coach.
See ya, Marshall.
So my question to you is, sometime as grown adults, if I have to provide for the family and create greater opportunities, is I could be delusional and selfish and be like, yes, I'm the high school ball coach and I'm this and that, but it's not. I'm giving up a crazy amount of hours away from my family for no monetary gain. So if I'm going to give up all the time away from my family, I would try to put that time that's going to allow us to go on vacation. It's going to allow to take pressure off my wife. So I see so many local people that's chasing status of being a coach. And I know you're an exceptional coach. So I'm just saying, is the school, is the community compensating you for your value? Because I would say there's somewhere out there that will. Mm-hmm. And you're already showcasing your display of videography through Sorinex. Like, I say you're just a couple relations and phone calls to be like, let me be your videographer. And I'm sure that they would find something within their umbrella to try, because you're talented, you're good. So do not settle for not being compensated for your skills.
Yeah. I think it all just depends on what you're going to focus on, man. Like, you want to make X amount doing this or that, I think you'll do it. I think it's just like weightlifting, bro. It's no different. I think that's the one thing I remember having this conversation with AJ Roberts. He was getting ready to go from his job to being a consultant long time ago. And he was like telling me how he was scared, basically, in so many words. And I was like, well, you weren't scared of that 1,200 pound squat. I'm like, you're never taking a PR, bro. So you just going to lift the same weights? He kind of looked at me. I'm like, that's exactly what you're doing. So I'm essentially doing the 1,200 pound squat as a businessman all the time. And you're taking the same fucking weights. And we just got to flip it. And he looked at me like, damn. Because what Louis say, taking the same weights like kissing your sister. I brought that up. You know what I mean? And so it was funny because I think once I correlated that, it just made a lot of sense, because it really is the same exact thing. So if you don't have, like we talked about, you going from 800 to 900 pound squat, if you don't have the same, at least like thing, maybe monetarily, you have no reason to get or reach. So you might just have to set like one more standard of where you want to go. If that's part of what your new goals are, it doesn't have to be crazy, but just like set a tone where it's like, and I bet you'll end up reaching it just like the weights. I don't think it'll be any different, man. That makes sense? Yeah, cool. Good question.
Corey G, I think it's a wrap.
Yeah,
Episode 13, Connect Cafe, live in Chillicothe, Ohio, with my main man, Corey G. Dre Day Productions behind the camera. Appreciate you guys. Corey,
Hey.
another brick in the foundation.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. It was awesome.
Cheers. See you next time.